the dead of night, two voices awaken from the crypt. One coffin.
Two opinions.
Endless
screams.
Welcome to Two Souls, One Crypt. I'm Jeff Darko.
And I'm Beth Graves.
And today we're going to talk about the movie A Desert that we just watched on Shudder. It is on Shudder now, and we checked it out, so take it away, Beth.
This film was done by Joshua Arkman. Apparently, this was his first feature film. He currently lives in Los Angeles. He has a bachelor in arts in cinema and television, and he currently plays in a rock and roll band outfit called The Lamps.
I did not know that.
I looked that up after we watched the movie because I was just curious of where this guy came from. This movie starts out, there's a man, he's traveling, he's obviously a photographer, he's taking pictures of landscapes, and he stops at this place where there's a cemetery, pet cemetery, and then he goes out into this desert area, and he ends up in this cheap hotel. It's a budget inn, and he calls his wife back home and leaves her a message and tells her what he's doing and what he's been taking pictures of.
Yeah, he's kind of like a struggling photographer, I would say now, because he put out a book, and then he's trying to like recapture what he did to get that book out. So he takes a lot of photographs of old buildings and landscape and stuff like that, and he decides to take a picture of a guy at a junkyard that he stops at, and he says, like, I always forget the most important thing, and it's people, is what he tells his wife, because he never talks to her on the phone. He always leaves voicemails or voicemails on her phone, and she's apparently the one paying the bills because he's out trying to make another inspirational book, I guess, or get inspired to make another book. But anyways.
So he's staying in this little, like I said, little budget motel, and he's getting his stuff together, and he leaves a message for his wife, and then the movie starts out. He hears a disturbance next door, and he thinks it's like domestic violence or something going on, so he calls the hotel clerk and tells them what's going on. And then this really rough looking, skinny, kind of looks like he's on drugs guy comes knocking at his door, and he's
kind of a redneck, I would say.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, sorry about disturbance, man, and like he's trying to be all nice, and then he looks in his room and he notices his camera and everything. He's like, oh, you're a photographer? And he was like, oh, I'd really love you to take some pictures of me and my sister. And the guy's just kind of like hesitant, like, I don't know this guy. I'm at this cheap hotel out in the middle of nowhere.
But, of course he does.
Yes, because that's what stupid people do.
Because we wouldn't have a movie if he didn't.
Right. That's what people do in these stupid horror movies. Like, sure, let's let this strange, rough-looking guy come in that looks like he's been in a meth bin. Sure, come on in. So he's like, let me go get my sister. She would love to take pictures. So this is kind of how it all starts out. He goes and gets her. She comes in. She's basically dressed like a streetwalker. She's got like red lipstick and really short.
She pretty much is. They determine that later.
Well, yeah, and then he keeps saying that she's his sister, and we're like, no, she's obviously not his sister. It's pretty obvious. And then he brings in this bottle of, I guess he said it's a homemade concoction.
It's homemade hooch. He made some homemade hooch.
And they keep trying to get him to drink it. And
it's just like yellowish liquor that don't have a label on it, and the guy says it smells like
says it smells like maple or something, and it looks...
Well, first he said it was like turpentine or something. I forget what he called it. So, yeah, it must smell pretty bad. And he takes a drink of it, and he acts like it's like the worst shit he's ever drunk.
Yeah, and we're, of course, we're...
It's
and then
bathtub hooch he made.
And, of course, Jeff was screaming at the TV. He was like, I wouldn't be drinking that. It has no label on it. You don't know what that is. And I'm like, of course he's going to drink it, because this is what people do, maybe. They let strangers in their hotel, and then they drink liquor. They don't know what it is and what it's made from.
They all three drink it, so, I mean, it wasn't nothing poison. So.
Well, obviously it's not poison, but who knows what it's made out of. And they start, snapping pictures, and then she puts on some music, and it kind of like one
It
thing
turns into a party.
it turns into a party, and then it kind of like lets you think like obviously him and this chick may or may not have hooked up. It kind of leaves it open. You're not really sure. And then the next day, he wakes up, he's hungover, they're gone. He kind of doesn't know what in the world happened.
He feels like shit because he drunk bathtub hooch.
Right. So then he's like, well, I'm going to get my car and take off and go whatever it is he planned to do, take pictures of whatever. And when he gets down the road, lo and behold, here comes the crazy man walking down the street smoking a half-lit cigarette, and comes up to him and is like, oh, I thought that was you, and is trying to talk to him. And he's like, oh, you want to take pictures? I got this really cool place I want to show you. No, man. Don't let this guy in the car with you.
Bad idea, but you know what? He does it anyways.
Of course he
'cause
does.
We wouldn't have a movie if he didn't.
Right. And we're not going to try to give too much away, but basically back home, the wife, she's worried sick, doesn't know what's going on, so she hires this private detective guy to go looking for him. And then, of course, the private detective guy, she suddenly can't get a hold of him, and then he ends up running into the same couple. He ends up at the same hotel, and I'm like, oh gosh, here we go again. Something
Yeah,
crazy.
he somehow figures out that he's at that hotel, so then he checks into the room because he's like, I just want to look around. The guy's like, $50, and you can look around. You can look around all you want for $50. So he ends up staying, and he runs into the lady that's not the guy's sister, and then they eventually go to his room and party, and then he's passed out, and her brother that's not her brother, the redneck guy, is sitting in a chair, and so yeah, he runs into him as well.
Right, and then so the next day he wakes up just like the other guy. He's
Too
got
much bathtub hooch.
he's got lipstick all over him, and he looks like a mess. And then the guy's wife
He
shows
actually
up.
did sleep with her because we did hear the sound from that. So he did have sex with her. We know that one. We don't know if the husband, the photographer guy, actually did or not. He says that he didn't. The brother says, or not brother says he didn't, and then he tells him later that he did. So we don't really know. But the brother's in the other room listening through the wall, and you can hear him having sex. So the private detective actually did have sex with her.
Yes, and so then the next day, like I said, the lady's husband. The lady's
Brother?
No, the guy that's missing, his wife shows up. That's what I'm trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
say. She shows up, and she's like, I've been trying to get a hold of you. What's going on? Yada, yada, whatever. And then she's mad at him. She's like, well, you're fired, blah, blah, blah. And then she leaves. She gets halfway down the road. Suddenly her car breaks down. And lo and behold, who comes and finds her? That same greasy redneck psycho
Yeah,
guy.
she has a tire blowout. But,
Right.
and I guess she can't get a hold of AAA.
It's like, why can anybody get away from this couple is what I want to know in this movie. It's just so, yes, it's somewhat realistic, but in this movie, to me, was a really slow burn.
It is a slow burn. It's kind of like an artsy horror film.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people on Reddit compare it like it's like a David Lynch movie. So if you're a big David Lynch fan, you'll probably like it. But it's a slow burn.
It kind of gave me, if you ever seen the movie California with Brad Pitt, it kind of gave me that vibe in some ways, but yet
You think because of the photography?
because of just the way he was a sociopath, and that guy and Brad Pitt, and like their personalities kind of remind me of each other. And then that chick, Juliette Lewis played, kind of remind me of the chick, except for Juliette Lewis did a much better job, I think.
David Duchovny's wife was a photographer.
Well, yeah.
As
Well,
well.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
California is much better in
Well,
my
yeah,
opinion.
Yes, definitely. But it just kind of gave me that vibe, like this weirdo couple, and they end up, targeting people, and it just kind of gave me that vibe. But yes, nowhere near as good as that movie, by no means. So there's one part in the movie where they flash back. The wife is thinking about the husband, and she calls and leaves him a voicemail, and she's thinking back, saying she wished he hadn't went on the trip, and so on. And there's a picture in their bedroom, and it's of an old drive-in theater, and it's in black and white. And
Very nice photo. by
yeah,
the way.
it is a really cool.
I really liked it.
Yeah, it's a really cool photo, and we love the drive-in because of Joe Bob. and was like, oh, yeah, it's a cool picture. And then the husband's asking her what she likes about it, and she's like, well, I kind of picture different movies. Like when I go to bed at night, I'm thinking this movie may be on there, or some sci-fi movie or whatever. And we're just kind of like, okay, that's just kind of a weird flashback. But then, and like I said, we don't want to give too much away, but then there's one part toward the end of the movie that she ends up at that drive-in where her husband took that photo, which I thought, okay, so maybe that's, I don't know what significance that was. That was kind of interesting. And then they were having like a flea market thing there at the end, and
yeah, it was like a weird swap meet flea market type thing.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, that like I said, it's very kind of artsy, I guess.
yeah, it's very artsy. It's very deep. It's very just odd. I didn't go into it with any expectations at all. I just was kind of like, hey, it looks interesting, and let's just give it a shot. Did I love it? No, not really. Would I watch it again? No, probably not. I'd probably give it half.
Would you recommend anybody else watch it?
If you like indie kind of weird horror, then sure, give it a shot just to see, what your thoughts are on it. I mean, the kill scenes were, like I said, was pretty good. The guy playing the sociopath, I did like that. I thought he did a really great job in the movie. He was probably the most
I
interesting.
thought the acting was good.
Yeah, the acting was good.
The storyline's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit weird.
Yeah, and like I said, and
Our friend Patrick would probably really love it.
Yes, Patrick would love it, definitely. But yeah, the guy, he did a fantastic job. And like I said, it's somewhat realistic. Maybe this could happen. My advice is, if you're staying in some cheap motel, don't let a stranger in your room or a stranger in your car, obviously. But, when you're in an indie horror movie, that's what you do.
And don't drink bathtub hooch.
Right.
Yeah, if you're a Lynch fan, definitely check it out. Don't go in with high expectations if you're not. It's a good movie. It's not bad. It's kind of weird. You kind of wonder what the hell's going on sometimes.
Yeah, I even tried to look up at the end to see what the point of the movie was. Couldn't find one, so I guess you have to make your own interpretation, because I really don't know. I'd probably give it a 3.
3. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. I would go 5.
Of course you would.
But would I watch it again? No.
No.
Am I glad we watched it? Yes.
Yeah.
It's worth checking out at least once, I think. Like I said, if you're a big Lynch fan, definitely check it out.
Yeah. So we don't completely agree on this movie, that's for sure.
Well, we don't really disagree, but
no, but he liked it better than me.
Yeah, I like some of the, like I said, the cinematography was pretty good. The acting was good. I liked a lot of his photos that he was taking was pretty cool.
Yeah, that part was, and I think that was kind of the point of it. I think the guy who directed it, he liked photography and stuff, and yeah, that was cool. I just wish it had kind of more of a plot, more of a point where I could maybe understand what was going on, but I guess it's just open for interpretation.
Yeah, so you recommend one-time watch?
One-time watch for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say check it out, especially if you got nothing, that you can't find anything else, and you're like, hey, let's check this out. It's not bad. It's not over the top horror, not over the top gory. It does have some blood, but yeah, it's not like anything that's like totally going to gross you out or scare you half to death.
No, definitely
There's
not.
some weird basement porno stuff going on at some point in there. So
yeah, definitely not for children. It's definitely an adult-based movie. I will
it's
say
almost
that.
like I don't know. I wouldn't say snuff filmish, but yeah, it's kind of just like weird basement porno filming going on. So
kind of like 8mm, 8mm in a way, and California in a way, and kind of just weird indie. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of dirty, gritty basement stuff. But so yeah, be aware of that. So yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend kids watch it.
Definitely not.
But other than that, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think I pretty much summed it up. There wasn't really that much going on in this movie, and yeah, it's just a one and done thing for me.
So check it out sometime. For Two Souls, One Crypt, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Beth.
We'll see you next time.